there has been a lot of talk about Chicago in recent weeks, but the Windy City is not the only major hub seeing increased immigration enforcement. The acting director of ICE confirming a surge of agents into the greater Boston area. And the Trump administration is suing that city and local leaders over a statute that the federal government claims limits cooperation on immigration efforts. NewsNation's Allie Bradley is live for us along the southern border in Texas. Allie, what do we know about this ICE operation in Boston?
Yeah, hey, Nicole. Well, DHS sources actually confirmed that ICE is everywhere across the nation, but we're going to see the highest volume of ICE officers and its federal partners in places like Washington, D.C., which we have been watching, in places like Chicago, where ICE just announced Operation Midway Blitz across Illinois, and then also in Boston, where the agency announced and launched Operation Patriot 2.0 just yesterday, targeting what it calls the worst of the worst across Massachusetts. A spokesperson for DHS saying in a statement, quote, ICE launched Patriot 2.0 to target the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens. Sanctuary policies like those pushed by Mayor Wu not only attract and harbor criminals, but also place these public safety threats above the interests of law-abiding American citizens. Now, officials say the focus is on arresting sex offenders, murderers, gang members, and drug traffickers released by local authorities in these sanctuary cities. Take a listen to what Border Czar Tom Homan had to say.
You're going to see a ramp up of operations in New York. You're going to see a ramp up of operations continue in L.A. And, Portland, Seattle. I mean, all these sanctuary cities that refuse to work with ICE, where we know public safety threats are being released every day into this country, especially those cities, we're going to address that.
Now, this second operation, Operation Patriot 2.0, Nicole, comes after the agency said it had success back in May under Operation Patriot. Now, this also comes as a ruling just came down in favor of the Trump administration to continue doing roving patrols in Los Angeles, a controversial move that people that were advocating for the immigrants said was racial profiling, essentially. However, the Trump administration will once again be able to be out on the streets conducting those stops, those roving patrols, if you will, based on a judge's ruling just a short time ago, Nicole.
And Allie, this all comes on the heels of the largest single site raid in DHS history. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, this one was in Georgia. It was actually at a Hyundai factory, and about 500 individuals were arrested, and they were actually accused of crossing illegally or overstaying their visas. So we know that South Korea, about 300 of those individuals, those were workers there, they're going to be flown back to South Korea. And President Trump says that the raids will not impact relations with the U.S. ally. Hyundai said none of those detained were directly employed by the company, and it has zero tolerance for those who don't follow the law. Others arrested were from Guatemala, Colombia, Chile, Mexico, Ecuador, and Venezuela, according to an immigration advocate who just spoke not long ago in response to the raid. Take a listen.
These ICE raids expose an inhumane system that criminalizes immigrant labor, will billion-dollar companies continue to profit. We call for the release of all immigrants. We call for the release of all parents, caregivers, and workers with work authorization.
Okay, Nicole, it's important for our viewers to know that ICE is present across the United States and has been conducting targeted enforcement operations for years, even decades, because that is their primary job. Now, these large-scale enforcement operations that we're seeing ramp up across the nation, that is something that we've also seen other presidents do as well in the past. Nicole.
All right. Allie Bradley live for us there along the border. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.